Hey guys, my name's Dimitri. I'm a current VCE English language tutor, and today I'm going to give you my advice on how to maximize your time in the upcoming English language exam. Now, like all exams, it requires a ton of preparation. Today I'm going to show you how to prepare yourself as well as what to actually do in the exam. So, first of all, let's break down the actual exam. It's 2 hours in total writing time and 15 minutes reading time. Now, in the 15 minutes reading time, you may not pick up a pen. You basically just have to read and try and make mental notes in your mind before you start writing. And obviously during writing time you can write. Now during the exam there's 3 sections. First one is section A, which is short answer. Section B is analytical commentary, and section C is the essay section. Now section A is worth 15 marks, section B is worth 30 marks, and section C is also worth 30 marks, giving you a total of 75 marks for the exam. Now, before the exam, I like to make it clear that you must know your meta language. One thing I've been telling all my students at the moment is to understand the meta language because it is so important in the exam. If you don't know the meta language, you'll be put at a massive disadvantage because you probably won't be able to answer half the questions. So, next guys, make sure you have memorized your quotes list. Quotes are so important. You don't have to memorize like 20 pages of quotes, just memorize the quotes you think are relevant for the topic you'd like to do in the exam. With that being said, do not resort to saying, I'm just going to focus on a Unit 4 topic. You need to make sure that you are preparing yourself for all area studies and all topics that could possibly come up in the essay section, which means you need to memorize probably more than just the quotes necessary for a particular area of study. Okay, now during reading time, guys, when you get in, you've got 15 minutes. So during reading time, you can't obviously pick up a pen. So firstly, I'd start off by choosing your essay topic. So work your way backwards. Many students make the mistake of going from section A, B, then C. It usually is better to actually go C, B, then A. And the reason behind that, and the reason for my thinking behind that, is because when you start writing, most students choose section A. So if you read section A last, it's going to be fresh in your mind, and therefore you'll be able to answer it really quickly. So firstly, start off by choosing section C and going through a particular topic and making some mental notes of how you could possibly answer that, and try your best to memorize that. And then second, go to section B, read the actual text for the analytical commentary. And again, try to make mental notes. Now, when you're reading in the exam, immediately try and pick up the register, pick up the social purpose, pick up the audience, and pick up any contextual factors that may affect the formality or the informality in a particular text, and try to make those connections in your mind. Also, try to observe any connections like logical ordering that may be in the text, especially for a formal written piece, and try and work out how the certain language choices in a particular text achieve a desired social purpose. Okay, and then lastly, finish off with section A. Now, as I said, the reason behind this is it allows you to ensure that section A is fresh in your mind, and therefore when you commence writing, you'll be able to basically just smash out the answers, not have to go back to reading the text, because in the exam, time is your greatest asset. It is not something that should be wasted. Okay, and in addition, in section A, make sure you look at the marking scheme. Make sure you look at how many marks are allocated to each question. If there's like 1 mark, just give a 1-word answer or 2-word answer, but don't worry about giving like a whole elaboration, because 1 mark does not constitute an entire elaboration. Okay guys, now during writing time, basically do not take extended breaks. You really just need to push through. 2 hours will go like that. You need to make sure that you stick to the time in the exam. Now, most examination halls do have big clocks, so make sure you follow the big clock in the room. If not, the assessor usually will indicate how many minutes are left for the exam. Okay, now during short answer section, which is section A, make sure you stick to about 20-25 minutes max, 25 minutes on the maximum side. 20 minutes is the desired time. This will allow you to allocate more time to the sections which give you more marks, such as section B and section C. Now, write legibly, guys. Make sure that your writing is legible. People can read it. I know that in our day and age, we as young people don't write as much. I mean, I haven't written at all since finishing Year 12. I pretty much just type everything. but try your best to actually write properly. Otherwise, if they can't read it, they can't give you the mark. Okay, now for the commentary section, guys, one thing I recommend students do is contextualize the answer. So what I mean by that is think to yourself, if I was the author or the speaker in this given context for section B, why would I be using those choices to achieve a purpose or to reflect a register or something of that nature? So think to yourself, if I'm an advertiser and I'm now creating an advertisement for a particular product and I use a ton of informal language choices, think to yourself, I'm the advertiser, I'm writing this piece. Why would I want to be using informal language choices to achieve the persuasive purpose? And make that connection in your mind. In the commentary, guys, do not forget situational context, the cultural context, and other contextual factors such as your age and gender. So when you're speaking, when you're writing, oftentimes who you are, your identity, your age, your gender, the context in which it's set, like is it a news article, is it a website, is it a government website, things like that will all have an effect on the language choices being used. So for example, on a government website, you'll find that many articles or pieces will often use formal linguistic choices, like particularly standard English, to uphold credibility and reputation of the government, and also to convey seriousness and authority. So things like that, you want to be making those connections in your commentary. Now, in the essay section, guys, please do not resort to pre-planned responses. You need to make sure that you contextualize the given topic. Oftentimes, many students make the mistake of being lazy, and I understand that in Year 12. We've got other subjects to worry about. But just stop and think for a moment. One thing that will allow you to do well in English language, particularly in the exam, is being inquisitive, and that means thinking for yourself, thinking on your own terms, and also doing your own research outside of class that's not predicated on the teacher's desire for you to do this work. So do not resort to pre-planned responses. Basically, this will lead to a fail. You can resort to pre-planned ideas. So what this means is you can have ideas of Americanisms, you can have ideas of cultural identity for Australia, you can have ideas for gender and generation and jargon. You can have these ideas, and I recommend you do that, but don't say copy word for word the paragraph you learnt at home in the exam, because if it does not address the topic, you will lose a substantial amount of marks. Okay, that's it, guys. That's pretty much everything that I believe will allow you to do well in the English language exam. Remember to stick to time in the exam. It's so important. Basically, go out there and dominate those exams. Thanks, guys.